This meeting of the U.S. Submarine Veterans San Diego Base will come to order. Our creed: to perpetuate the memory of our shipmates who gave their lives in the performance of their duties while serving their country, that their dedication, deeds, and supreme sacrifice may be a constant source of motivation towards greater accomplishments, and to pledge loyalty and patriotism to the United States of America and its Constitution. Let's please join Scott, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
And salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our chaplain is not here today, so let us pray. Eternal Father, we thank you for the heritage and liberty we enjoy as Americans and for the privilege of having served in the submarine service. We ask your blessing for our shipmates who have made the supreme sacrifice in service to our nation as we gather here this evening to honor and remember them. Bless our shipmates who have gone ahead on eternal patrol and those of our group who are sick, troubled, and bereaved. And bless and protect our shipmates on active duty as they serve in the first line of defense of our nation. We humbly ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
There are no eternal patrol reports to make. Thank God. Tolling of the boats. The following boats were lost during the month of April. Bell ringer. Please strike a toll for the following boats. USS Pickerel, SS-177, lost on April 3rd, 1943, with the loss of 74 officers and men while on her 7th War Patrol. She was lost off Honshu. The exact cause of her loss has never been determined, but her op area contained numerous minefields. USS Snook, SS-279, lost on April 8, 1945, with the loss of 84 officers and men. Snook ranks 10th in total Japanese tonnage sunk and is tied for 9th in the number of ships sunk. She was lost near Hainan Island, possibly sunk by a Japanese submarine. USS Thresher, SSN 593, lost on April 10, 1963, with the loss of 112 crew members and 17 civilian technicians during deep diving exercises. 15 minutes after reaching test depth, she communicated with USS Skylark that she was having problems. Skylark heard noises like air rushing into an air tank, and then silence. The rescue ship Recovery, ASR-43, subsequently recovered bits of debris, including gloves and bits of internal insulation. Photographs taken by Trieste proved that the submarine had broken up, taking all hands on board to their depths in 1,400 fathoms of water, some 220 miles east of Boston. USS Gudgeon, SS-211, probably lost on April 18, 1944, with a loss of 79 men southeast of Iwo Jima, but may have been sunk on May 12, 1944, in another attack on an unidentified submarine and heard by several other submarines in the area. Winner of 5 Presidential Unit citations, Gudgeon was on her 12th War Patrol, and her loss was most likely due to a combined air and surface anti-submarine attack. Gudgeon was the first U.S. submarine to go on patrol from Pearl Harbor after the Japanese attack. On her first patrol, she became the first U.S. submarine to sink an enemy warship, picking off the submarine I-173. USS Grenadier, SS-210, lost on April 22nd, 1943, near Penang with no immediate loss of life. She was on her 6th War Patrol. While stalking a convoy, she was spotted by a plane and dove. While passing 130 feet, Grenadier was bombed, causing severe damage. She lodged on the bottom 270 feet below, and the crew spent hours fighting fires and flooding. When she surfaced, she had no propulsion and was attacked by another plane. While she shot down the plane, when enemy ships arrived, the CO abandoned ship and scuttled the boat. Of the 76 crew members taken prisoner, 72 survived the war. Let's please observe a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Please be seated. Junior Vice, do we have any past officers, new members, or guests present this evening?
We have Fred Fromby. And Mike Mallory. Hi. Does he guess?
Let's,
Soon be member.
yeah, let's,
I want to learn
yeah. Why don't you please stand up and introduce yourself, tell us what boats you've been on, what you're currently doing.
Oh, boy.
Give us your life history.
Oh, the whole life story, huh? Okay. Let's do that.
Hey,
Good evening, everybody. My name's Mike Mallory. I'm still active duty, submariner. I work at Squadron 11 right now. This is going to be my last tour. I'm a deputy for undersea rescue, and then my contract expires in 2.5 years, and then that's going to be it. I'm going to retire, and plan is to stay in San Diego. I was commissioned through the NUPOC program. I went to Florida Tech as I grew up in South Florida, and just south of Tampa. Go Bucks. I can say that because San Diego doesn't have a football team anymore. But I am now a Padres fan, just to be very clear. I don't know who the Rays are. It's a fish. Anyway, I went through that. I was commissioned through OCS when it was in Pensacola. I went to Power School and Prototype in Charleston on the MTS 635. And then I was a junior officer on USS Columbus out of Pearl Harbor. I deployed on her twice to the Western Pacific. I went to Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, went to SOAC, and then I was stationed in San Diego for the first time. I was the WEPS on the USS Albuquerque for 1.5 years, and then I split to it on board and I became the Eng, and then I was the Eng for another 3 years. And I was her last Eng, so I was there for her last 2 deployments I did, and then her decom. And then I was in Charleston post-engineer tour, where I stood up the now MTS La Jolla, or MTS 706. Or not 706. Anyway, 7, anyway, whatever.
7-Eleven, I think, in San Francisco.
7-Eleven in San Francisco. Anyway, so I stood up the new MTS, and they have like, if anybody's nukes, I don't know who's nukes around here, but they have like virtual trainers now. Like, there's a whole engine room on a keyboard, and like you walk around on a computer. It's really weird. But I did 701, MTS 701. I did all the testing for that, and they have these like, we call engine room team trainers, which are these fake trainers. I did all the testing for that. Anyway, that was my life. Then I was the XO on USS Hampton. I did 2 deployments on her. And then my last tour right before coming back here, I was the theater nuclear power officer in Naples, Italy, for the last 2 years, which was amazing. And now I moved back here. So that's my life story.
Let's not forget, Steve's here. Mr. Secretary, how many members do we have present today?
16.
There you go. Mr. Treasurer, may we have your report?
We post out the fly sheet to everybody on the different tables. I don't know if you have any questions. Basically what it is, all checks have cleared, all deposits have been made and cleared. Presently we have, as you can see, 1486 credit in the checking and 20,600 in our savings. Any questions? Stands posted.
Thank you. The minutes of the March meeting were sent via MailChimp, and copies are on the table. Are Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand as posted. Committee reports. Our chaplain is on the binnacle list. Also, Mike Hyman is on the binnacle list. Does anyone know anyone else who we should note as being on the binnacle list? Ed is not in dire or anything. He's okay, but he had to go to urgent care today, and so that's why he's not here. And punishment for going to urgent care is go on the binnacle list.
He drank too much nuke waste. That's what he did.
Parade committee, Jack.
There is such a thing as nuke waste, they sell it at the
Yes.
exchange. Yeah, following parade, next one is Linda Vista, Saturday the 26th. Parade starts at 11 o'clock, float stage at 9 o'clock. I'll send out the maps via the next newsletter. That one's a little tricky to get to if you haven't been there before, so if you have any questions, give me a call. And we have to go around in a circle to get to the back end of the parade. But this will be about our 18th one for them. And then after that, the Kiwanis Day Parade will be on the 17th of May. That's also the it's in Tierra Santa. 17 May is in the morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 8 o'clock staging, 10 o'clock parade. But we also have put out flags that day also.
It'll be at Sarah High School.
Sarah High School.
No, formerly Sarah High School.
Yeah, it's now
All something else.
It's all something else.
It's that high school in Tierra Santa.
It's something canyon. Something canyon. The old timers, I used to live near Sarah High School. Membership committee.
167 with one potential.
I'm gonna join.
We'll call that 168.
116.
He's a nub.
That's valid.
Scholarship.
Okay, at the moment I have one scholarship, and April 15th is the deadline, so you know somebody's gonna get it here.
I always wait to say it's Starkeeper.
Oh,
On the note of the scholarship, I'm looking for a relief. So if anybody wants to take over, I've been doing it for 14 years. It's time to move on. And the storekeeper, I have some calendars still available. So if you're available, if you need them, come and get them.
'52 Boat Memorial. Our next All Flags is going to be this Friday at the '52 Boat Memorial. We're going to be putting out the flags at 0730. I'll be getting them at 0700 from the storage unit, and we will be retrieving them at 1700. We need to make that really quick because I'm getting on a flight the next morning and I need to go home and go to bed because I got to get up at 2 a.m. We did have a cleanup this past Saturday, the 5th of April. I take it there was only 3 people there. Now, originally I was supposed to go, but I had to go to Vegas and do he's like, yeah, for the Western region, I went and stayed at Samstown to scope it out. I met with their personnel for looking at where we're going to be holding the Western region next year. I had to get that done now, unfortunately, just due to my schedule. But there was only 3 people. Thank you to Jack, and I can never remember you. Doug, who else was there? Greg. Thank you to those 3 for showing up and taking care of the memorials. The next memorial cleanup will probably be in December before the REITs Day with the Point Loma Society. But anyway, going back to this Friday, 0730, putting out flags, 1,700 retrieving flags. The next all flags is Armed Forces Day, which happens to be May 17th, which is also the same day as the Kiwanis Day Parade. We will deploy at 7:30. We'll have plenty of time to make it to Tierra Santa to get on the float. If you're not going to be helping with the flags, please show up to help Harry set up the float at 0800. Speaking of the float, going on to the float committee, I will be picking up the floats either Tuesday or Friday before the 26th. I haven't decided yet. For the Linda Vista Parade, we will evaluate the things that we need to do for the float and things we want to do for the float. And then on May 10th, at Harry's house, we will have a working party to do those items. What time, Harry?
9 o'clock, 9:30, whatever, 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
Okay,
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Some of us try to sleep in on Saturday. Try. Boy Scout Coordinator Neil.
Yeah, we had 6 scouts that made Eagle this month. Had Jedediah Cabot, Sean Aguirre, Alexander Flores, Ethan Abbott, Preston Lang, and Mary Anderson.
And then you got 3 coming up for this month, correct?
We got right now 3 coming up in this month.
Is the ceremony on the 27th? Or is that when is the ceremony? When's the ceremony?
What?
When is the ceremony?
When are they having the ceremony?
It's not really much of a ceremony. It's they go to the Eagle Board of Review and get promoted to Eagle, and at that board, then I give them the certificate, pair of dolphins, and explain a little about this group and why we're recognizing them as becoming an Eagle. I've had a couple of troops in the past that have invited me to their Eagle Court of Honor, and in that case, I put on my trusty scout uniform, this vest, and go down there and make a second presentation to them at the Court of Honor.
All right, thank you, Neil. All right, that's all the committee reports. We're gonna have a presentation. I was looking at the boats lost in the month of April, trying to decide which boats I was going to cover. And, today there was a boat lost in 1943, or Gungeon. I was contemplating doing that until I did some further reading on the Thresher, and there were some interesting aspects, so I decided to do the Thresher. Have to figure out where this
Internet thing went over.
we're not gonna
And there we go. Nobody Yeah.
All right, so the Thresher was the first in her class. It was originally supposed to be the Thresher class because that's how we do things. That's named. Obviously, upon her loss, they renamed the class. It became the Permit class after her loss, 594. The Thresher, at the time that she was built, she was the fastest and quietest submarine of its day. Obviously, we've improved on that. She wouldn't be considered that today. If you actually go and do some reading on the Permit class, there were some issues with the propellers on some of them that they had to do some working because they would cause noise even at low speed. And she was designed to find and kill Soviet submarines. Kind of like that.
She'll come for Christ.
There was actually a total of 14, we'll call it the Thresher Permit class submarines. You can see that, the Permit, the Plunger, Barb, Pollack, Haddo, Jack, Tenosa, Dace, Guardfish, Flasher, Greenling, Gato, and Haddock. And you can see the numbers are not sequential. There was one special submarine, the USS Tullabee, SSN 597. She actually was the smallest nuke sub ever built. She was very, very small. Very small as compared to everybody else. Then the other numbers, they were part of the 41 for Freedom, with the George Washington class, the Ethan Allen class, and the Lafayette class. And a weird thing is, and for the Ethan Allen class, they went 608, 9, 10, 11, and then they skipped to the 18th. Yeah, it went to 18. The Lafayette class was 616, 617, 619. Who was in charge of this? Who was in charge of this? What's that?
When I was on Haddock, we had a lot of hull valves that were Thresher hull numbers. They were actually Thresher valves.
Oh, they're a Thresher.
Yeah, because the Haddock was originally supposed to be the Thresher, and then she got pushed back.
Ah.
That's why our numbers different.
Ah. Interesting tidbit there. So her keel was laid in May of 1958. She was launched July 1960, bow first. Some people have said that this is one of the reasons that she suffered the calamity that brought bad luck, because most subs go stern. And in fact, most ships, when they are launched, go stern first, because the stern actually is the heaviest end of the ship, and they don't have to worry about it going down or tipping over. But this ship, they launched it bow first.
That's interesting. She was built up in Portsmouth Naval Shipyard.
Yeah, she was built in Portsmouth.
I wonder if Portsmouth did that in all their boats.
I don't know. I didn't look that up. That's a good question. She was finally commissioned in August of 1961. And in reality, she went into overhaul in 1962. And so that's what led into 1963 with the deep dive. But does anybody know about the incident in Puerto Rico, 1961? So she arrived in Puerto Rico in November of 1961. She was with the USS Kabbalah, SS-244. They didn't have shore power in Puerto Rico at that time. No shore power. You know what they did? They shut down the reactor and they used the diesel to power the ship. You only get one guess as to what happened next. The diesel broke. That's how they had to go on the battery. They turned off AC and they turned off a lot of things to try to conserve battery power. And in reality, the battery lasted like 12 hours. But in 10 hours, after 10 hours, the temperature inside the sub reached 140 degrees. Miserable. There were 4 individuals who were working to try to fix the diesel, and they actually got commendations for their efforts, because they were never able to fix the diesel. And the battery became too depleted to even start up the reactor. The CO actually arrives back on board when the battery was too low to start up the reactor. He was at some function out in town and didn't even know what was going on. They went to another ship and they borrowed shore power cables, and they ran those cables over to the Kabbalah, and the Kabbalah started up her diesels to power the Thresher so that she could restart the reactor. So for those of you who like to say diesel boats forever, here's a tidbit for you. So unfortunately, the Thresher was lost on the 10th of April, 1963, sometime around 9 in the morning. She was during her deep dive testing after overhaul. Her test depth was 1,300 feet. So that's where she was when something went wrong. And she was approximately 200 miles off the coast of Cape Cod. Now, there are several theories about how she was lost. There's the flooding theory that one of the issues with the permit class submarines is they were building them with silver brazing versus welding. And that was one of the things that in the sub-safes program after the Thresher went away from the silver brazing and welded all seawater systems. The issue with the flooding theory is that there was nothing about that sound that you would think you would get with flooding in a submarine was heard on any hydrophone in the area. So that's the issue. And I'll get to one of the communications that come across, and you would have to have thought that the word choice that came over the hydrophone would have been a slightly different if it had been flooding. The other thing is there was some type of fault that caused the reactor plant to shut down. And at that time, whenever the reactor was shut down, the thought process was we need to conserve heat. And so the first thing that they would do is the reactor operator would stand up and, depending on how it is, shut main steam 1 and 2. Would shut off steam to the plant to conserve power. One of the people who were missing off of this sub was the engineer. And some surmise that if that guy had been on the submarine and this was the cause of the calamity, what happened afterwards would not have happened. He would have stopped them from shutting main steam 1 and 2 because, let's think about this, the ship's at 1,300 feet, something's gone wrong, you gotta get the ship up.
All hands up.
Yeah, don't turn off propulsion. It's not the smartest thing. The engineer at the time was actually a former nuke enlisted individual. He actually served on the 571, the Nautilus, had converted over to become an officer, and was a pretty smart guy. The engineer who was standing in for him was just out of nuke school and didn't have the experience with dealing with these types of plants. And so that's one of those thought processes of what could have happened here. The other thing that for boat, whatever started it, the boat tried to blow and it didn't blow. And the thought process is there was too much moisture in the air tanks. And at that depth and that temperature, the Marauder valves froze and they did not get any air into the ballast tanks. And so, unfortunately, the sub went down. That is now why there's a bunch of dehumidifiers on getting the air into the tanks so that we don't have to deal with this. The debris field was actually found on 25 June 1964 by the USNS Mizar. You heard in the little spiel during the tolling. Trieste was brought over from San Diego and was later able to find even more of her. And then the individual who found the Titan, he actually went and found both the Thresher and the Scorpion, and the knowledge he learned from finding those two boats is how he found the Titanic. I think I said Titan, the Titanic. Yeah. And then he also helped find the submarine. Well, it was his information that he gave. I can't even remember the sub that was lost up near the Aleutian Islands back in World War II. I talked about it at the last meeting. What? Yeah, off Alaska. Yeah, the Grunion. It was his advice that helped find that boat. All right, here's one of those interesting facts. Besides, I actually wanted to talk about the incident in Puerto Rico. I thought that was kind of interesting. So there have been 4 submarines lost with more than 100 individuals on board. Thresher is 3rd on the list. or if you want to say it, she's number 2 on this list. So, if I can get this. There was 130 lost on the French sub Surcouf, which was lost in the evening between the 18th and 19th of February 1942 after she collided with a U.S. freighter in the Caribbean Sea. And obviously we have 129 on the Thresher. Who knows what the next boat is?
Kursk.
The Kursk. 118 on the Russian sub Kursk, lost in August of 2000 in the Barents Sea due to internal explosions. And then, this is one of the reasons, 102 on the USS Argonaut, which we talked about in January, lost 10 January by Japanese destroyers. So those are the 4 submarines who, in the history of submarines, greater than 100 people on board when they were lost.
Yeah.
Of the 129 men lost, 16 were officers, there were 96 enlisted, and there were 17 civilians, because remember, she was coming out of an overhaul and she was doing testing. So, I wanted to talk about some of the men. You get to see their pictures and learn a little bit about them. I can't see them. Oh, I forgot to mention, so the garbled communications, this is what the Skylark heard. Something, minor difficulties, have positive up angle, attempting to blow. Think about that word minor difficulties. If there was flooding, would that be a minor difficulty? I wouldn't even say a reactor scram would be a minor difficulty, but something happened. But they chose the words minor difficulties. The last communication was really garbled, and all they could make out was 900. 900, whatever that meant. Those are the last communications from the submarine. We're going to talk about several of the men that were on board this submarine. Each one of them is unique in some form of nature. I'll tell you that, unlike the Argonaut, where I talked about the 2 individuals who were from San Diego, there's nobody from San Diego on board the Thresher. There was one individual, his name was Dyer, I didn't put him up there. His family was listed as living here in San Diego now. So after he passed away, they moved here to San Diego. There were 5 members of the boat who were from California. One from Albany, which was up near La Jolla. 1 from Compton, and 3 from LA. Now, we have this guy, Master Chief Electrician's Mate Benjamin Schaefer. He served on, you can see the Cobbler and the Skipjack, and he was assigned in February of 1961, and that was right when she was being commissioned, so he was part of the commissioning crew. And you say, well, what's so special about Benjamin Schaefer? Not that he's an electrician. Maybe it's because of this guy. Senior Chief Electrician's Mate, John Schaefer. They were brothers. So there was a pair of brothers on board the Thresher when she went down. So you can see that, oh, by the way, these 2 individuals, they were born in Fort Pierce, Florida. And Ben, he saw service in World War II on destroyers. He left the service in 1946 and then returned to the service in 1949. John joined at the end of, after World War II. You can see he went straight into submarines. And he served on the Harder, the Timidar, Kingfish, and the Truda. He actually went to nuclear power school, and so he was trained on the Thresher. You can see he showed up towards the end of 61, so he was part of the crew after commissioning. So, 2 brothers on board the submarine. Really wish my clicker would work. All right, this is Fire Control Technician, 2nd Class, Alan Sinnett. He hadn't been in the Navy that long. He served on the Blue SS-285. That's where he qualified in submarines. And what's special about him is look what date he reported to the Thresher. He was the last person to report to the Thresher before she went down. So he reported on 4 April 1963, and 6 days later went on eternal patrol. This is Chief Torpedoman's mate, Robert Johnson. Let's repeat that. Chief Torpedoman's mate. Not Master Chief, not Senior Chief, Chief. He was the Cobb, and he was well respected by all officers and all enlisted. One of the special things besides being the Cobb is he served on the USS Torsk, I don't even know how to say that, for 2 war patrols during World War II, and he was awarded a submarine combat pin. He also served on 4 other submarines, and you can see he was part of the commissioning crew. So if you think back to the Schaefer brothers, one was a Master Chief, the other one was a Senior Chief, and the Cobb was a Chief. And actually, the Cobb had been in longer than the other 2. But remember, Ben broke in service. Then we have Chief Electrician's mate Roscoe Pennington. Oh, by the way, I forgot, Sinnett was from Boston, Massachusetts. Johnson, the Cobb, was from Junction City, Ohio. Pennington here, he was from Fort Worth, Texas. You can see he also served in World War II. 6 war patrols between 2 different submarines. So Pennington and Johnson were the only 2 who served on submarines, on war patrols during World War II. None of the officers served during World War II. Even the CEO, he came into the service at the end of World War II. Pennington also saw service in the Pacific area during the Korean conflict, and he went to nuclear power training in 1961, and he reported to the Thresher in September of 61. Another interesting thing is, I guess at this time, Pennington was part of a team that would go around to high schools and pitch joining the nuclear force. He was a submariner. It was interesting. And then we have here U.S. Yeoman First Class Wayne Lavoie. He served on the Corsair and the Albacore, and he reported in February 1963. Why is he on the board? He went on eternal patrol on his 28th birthday. He was born 10 April 1935 in Rochester, New Hampshire. So, you've now seen some faces and learned something about some of the men who went on eternal patrol with the USS Thresher. And with that, we will take our break. It's only going to be 5 minutes because I want to finish by 8 o'clock. I knew I would go long. You never gave me the cut signal. First 50-50 drawing. Yep, Mike gets to draw the first ticket. We told him he can draw his own.
Yes.
He said he's unlucky.
Yeah, that's happened 3 times.
Yeah.
All right.
The only person who's lucky here is you, Fred. We know that.
Yeah.
If I get
0,
lucky,
0,
I'm lucky.
8440, 8440.
Holy shit.
What did I say?
Wait a minute, where are we going here? Here, this is his.
Oh my.
There you go.
I'm not gonna give him the money, I'm gonna give him to do a ticket, he can get his own money.
I wanna see the
You
ticket.
can read it.
All right, so we have 3
I wanna see
books
the ticket.
and 1 patch that you get to choose from. 2 of them are read and return. The other one, you get to choose what you want to do with it.
I wanted the second one.
Did he pull his own?
No, that don't,
What's that?
41 don't match 40.
Oh,
That's the one he just drew.
here's 40. There.
Oh, he just drew.
There you go, Agent.
Oh, so you got 41 also, right?
Yeah.
He drew his own.
You want a book?
Want a
I
book?
want, I want a
Come on
book.
up.
Then come up and get the book.
I'll bring it back.
What is this?
Oh, no, wait. What, where, you
Paul,
said,
where's this one for?
you said it was cash.
That's his number.
What's
See, there's a patch.
Well, I got a 40 for him.
Subgroup 7, Spring Festival.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's Yokosuka. Yeah. How much we got?
30.
That's $30?
Better count it out there, Master Chief.
Let's see. I'm looking for the,
That's the 20 on the
give it
back.
back.
You're gonna give me
Gotta
a
put it
paper?
back into, not, no,
Oh,
not that.
not in that pocket?
Yeah, put it in the scholarship.
Scholarship. God bless you.
Thank you, Fred.
All right.
Fred donating his winnings to the scholarship fund.
Hurrah, hurrah. And this is the base. 30.
All right,
Get him to have,
God bless you,
big
Fred.
number again.
we got 3 books.
Okay, I'm ready for another one.
Okay, well, did we pick another number
Yeah,
or book?
next number.
Pretty colorful.
Can you read it?
566.
566.
566.
8566.
No, it cannot be.
8566.
8566.
8566, one of the last ones.
Uh-oh.
Is it yours?
Oh, yeah.
Which book do you want?
Right here.
All right, we're down at 2.
Pull a number.
Here. You pull a number.
Move this off.
High finance over here.
All right.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, this
Figure
is
it out.
Velcro,
Yeah.
8563. Sound familiar?
It does, I'll pass.
You
Then we'll-
pass.
then we'll make 8563?
8563.
Yeah, I got it. Pass.
I won last.
Who mixed these up?
Yeah, shake it up.
Nobody.
8569.
That's me.
Oh, I missed that
We
one.
got one book left.
Take the silent
No,
siege.
there's,
The other one sucks.
Yeah. And you donated it.
I know that. Oh, yeah.
and that's a return?
Yeah, that's a reading return. One book left, so you don't get to choose. It has been chosen for you.
8558. 8558.
Sounds like it's Greg.
Got a 59.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Greg.
Yeah, the research paper, yeah.
All right. That is it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to unfinished business. I was supposed to bring some stuff for the picnic. I'm gonna do it next month. Sorry, I've been kind of busy. July 19th, the picnic is going to be at Smuggler's Cove, Naval Base Point Loma. We're gonna be sending out, Jack will be, about the picnic next month at the May base meeting. We will have signups for people to bring things for the picnic. That would be the person who's gonna purchase soda. Maybe Paul will volunteer again, I don't know, we'll see. Ice, hamburgers, hot dogs, fix-ins. So there'll be a sign up for that. Additionally, we will start taking reservations for any possible tours. We don't know if there's gonna be a sub there or not, but we will be ready if we can get tours of a sub. Any comments on the picnic? Yes, Fred?
Just one thing, we always do it at the Smuggler's Cove, maybe next year. Next year, can we do it out on North Island and get a tour of the,
Aircraft carrier?
yeah, about there, city?
You wanna go down to Target?
No.
He is a target.
No, that's not, hey, that is DSU, right? That's, well, whatever it's called these days.
What do you want a tour of?
Lincoln.
The
Roosevelt.
The rescue vehicles.
Oh, the rescue vehicle.
URC.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could set that up easily.
see, all right, so
So maybe next year.
maybe
I'm
next year.
just saying, that's
No,
up to
I
the
like that,
group.
yes.
Instead of having it at Smuggler's Cove, we have it on the beach at, Breakers Beach or
And
something.
you're gonna walk to the,
I think we know who's gonna volunteer to launch of this, Fred.
I can't hear you.
That's a great idea. Mr. Secretary, make sure that's in the minutes that Fred proposed for next year, we hold the picnic in July in Coronado so that we could go look at the undersea water vehicles, not
That'd be
the
great.
submarine.
Yeah, if you've never been to Breakers Beach,
Yeah.
it'll break you.
It is something that we will use as business for next time. Thank you, Fred, for that recommendation.
Just a thought.
All right, I have nothing for new business. Does anybody have any new business that you want to bring up? I see somebody raising their hand.
Twice. I thought we were gonna do vote like on for food and shit, like on
Next
Sundays and
month.
stuff. Was it next month?
Was it next month? I don't remember.
I thought we were gonna vote on that.
No. About whether we were going to start to try to do
Yeah.
the breakfast.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
it's okay.
until we have any people who wants to do it.
You guys,
He's the only one who wants to do it.
what?
So,
We don't know.
yeah, we don't know that.
I'd like to come to it.
Yeah.
We will table that for the next meeting.
Sounds
I'm
good.
writing it down so I don't forget. You said two things, I would think one.
This is actually new business, though.
Oh, okay.
So, I'll wait.
All right. No, we're now into new business.
Oh, now we're into new business. Correct?
Can't do it anymore.
Huh?
What?
Oh, no, I was just thinking,
Again?
I still need to volunteer to do the hot dogs, but they're on Tuesday night, and that's Taco
That
Tuesday.
Taco
Yeah,
Tuesday.
So that's kind of like,
Yeah.
Okay.
New business. We have somebody who wants to bring up new business.
Yeah, new business. Just for your information, Padres going to be playing on July 6th against the Rangers. And it's going to be Salute to, you ready for this? USS Alexandria, SSN 757. And they're going to be discounts. So, just giving you guys some heads up and whatever.
That is like a Sunday, right?
When is it?
Yeah, Sunday.
Seventh?
6th to the 7th.
The 6th.
6th is Sunday.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, which if they're gonna be honoring the Alexandria, because that is military
Correct.
appreciation.
First,
Day.
first submarine. 6th of July.
Yeah, so that
July.
should be a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah.
All right. So next,
Make it or break it, dudes.
Good point of order, that's too good of the order.
yeah, that's more for, do you have a proposal or are you just bringing it up?
Just bringing it up.
All right, so that, any new business? All right, no new business. Good of the order, recognizes members to submit good of the order. That was a good of the order
That was
thing?
good of the order.
We are now, that's a good of the order thing. We can make it new business for the next meeting. I want people to contemplate, if you want to go to the game, we could do some block things. Yes.
Raffle
That's not a 110 game.
Oh, it's not?
It's a 610 game.
It's a Sunday game.
It's a Sunday game. It's going to be a 610. I got the schedule.
It's Sunday night nationwide
Yes.
television.
Oh,
Who cares?
it might, that means it's an ESPN game.
Right.
I was,
But hey, we could still make the game.
I'm
I
just
like
saying,
it.
it's
not a 110
Not a
game.
110. 610.
But we could try to go as a group. So contemplate that. We'll bring it up as new business at the next meeting.
You can get a seat for 20. A suite. I think it's about just under $200 a person, or $100 and some odd dollars a person for a suite.
It's $3,500.
Yeah, it's some. It's some. But being a season ticket holder, you can get a discount of 10%.
Yeah, well, I'll pay $60. I'm not paying
Yeah, I know.
$100. Yeah. All right. Fred has something for good of the order.
oh, finally.
on, On April 4th, we buried MSC SS Thomas C. Jones. He served on the Rock. He served on the Puffer diesel. He served on the Snook, the Nuke, and he served on the Barbell and the Bonefish. The funeral was up in Fernley, Nevada. Fernley, Nevada is straight up the 15, onto the 395, and straight on, right on the edge of the 80. Right. You can't go wrong with those directions. I was amazed that I actually, all I had to do was point the car north. Anyway, the burial went, well, the internment, I should say, went really well. They were really impressed. Jack helped out a lot. He provided the certificate, right? He also provided the prayers. All I did was stood up and read the certificate, presented it to Sandy, his wife, and read the prayer. The prayer was the one the girl, the teenager wrote. You had told me. Well, anyway, the one you recommended. That's the one I pushed. Anyway, it was really good. The professionalism up there. They had a first class, and you had a airman. They were the ones who, and of course Padre, or the lieutenant, right? They were the ones that presented Sandy with the flag, which got everybody's tears going, and it was a really good presentation. The best part of it was a Chivas Regal. They brought a bottle of Chivas Regal and about 50 little cups, and everybody had to have a cup, right? And we're all standing in front of the niche. That's what they call them when they put you in the urn, and you put the urn in the niche. I didn't know that until then. But anyway, so everybody saluted, gave him took a sip. That was his favorite drink. He died of pancreatic cancer. It went real quick. You got stage 4 and he died. That's just about as quick as it went. We as a group took the time to get him. All he wanted was a hat. He wanted to be a member of USSVI, and he tried to get into the Cordova base or Covilla. Well, anyway, the Nevada base, and they heed and hawed and everything else. So Sandy called me and said, "Hey Fred, Tom wants a hat and he wants a patch." Right. Done. We took care of it. Right. And granted, he wasn't a member yet, but the hat and the patch were really important. But it didn't make it. Believe it or not, he died in November, before we could get him. It was in the mail. Right. But after that, he was a member. He was a San Diego base member, and all the things that go with it. Right. He was a good shipmate. We knew each other back in 86 to 89 in Sasebo. But anyway, so that's all I have. Just rest his soul.
Thank you, Fred.
I have no words.
Amen.
And last month, Jack, Dennis, Harry, and I attended the memorial service for Bill Earl. It was a very nice get together with his family. We did present his daughter with a certificate. Still learning all this pomp and circumstance stuff. Next time I'll do a better job than what I did.
You did fine. Well,
But yeah, Bill Earl's family is doing well. Still in fighting. Still in fighting. Boy, did it come out. All right, last three things. And I mean this. National convention is in Orlando. Whoa.
I had a good order thing.
Oh, I
Yeah,
missed
yeah,
something.
crazy.
All right, so it's not the last three things. Sorry.
Sorry. I don't know if it ever made it out to this group, but the Submarine birthday ball is April 26th in San Diego. I was just texting with the CMC from Squadron 11, so he could text me the flyer if anybody wants me to send that to them and is interested in going. It's in downtown, but it's going to be April 26th, and I'm going to be the MC. So you should go because I'm funny.
By the way, that was item number 2 on the list.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, item number 3 on the list. I'll get back to item number 1 since item number 2 is related to item number 3. Right now, there are only 2 of us, and I'm one of them. 2 of us who have signed up to go to the Old Timers Luncheon on Friday, the 25th. It's 11:30 to 1:30. It's at the Bayview Restaurant on MCRD. It's $35. You need to make a reservation by the 18th of this month. All you have to do is email the treasurer, Jim Pilburn of the Naval Submarine League. I have his email address, treasure.nslpacsw@yahoo.com. Very simple. He'll be sitting up here if you want to come and take a photograph of this so that you can email him.
well, why
and
not
sign
just
up.
put it in an email to all of us?
We did. There's also a flyer. We put it out. It was emailed the last month.
Cause I'll
So,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Oh.
what it was.
Sorry.
You don't look at, I am crushed. My newsletter doesn't get out. The whole flyer's in there. It's this flyer right here.
Yeah, there's a flyer. If
in the
the
newsletter.
default is turkey breast. Default is turkey breast. Come up, see the flyer. Here's the email address. The last thing is the national convention is 31 August to 6 September in Orlando, Florida. I think I'm gonna probably be the only one going, but if you want to go, all you have to do is go to subvetconvention.org. You can sign up. It's a good time. Western region is really good. Convention is good. All right. Anything else for good of the order? Because I'm 7 minutes over. Fred, you've already had your one chance. All right. Got to
No,
make
I
it 30
just wanna
seconds or
let
less.
everybody know.
30 seconds or less.
Okay, I'm retired. I retired last Monday.
Oh, you retired.
Really retired.
Oh,
All right.
there you go. All right, there being no further business, I remind you of this promise. Let no word or deed of mine cause any injury to the person or family of any member. Our next meeting is on May 13th, 7 o'clock, same time, same place. I hereby adjourn this meeting of the United States Submarine Veterans Incorporated San Diego base. Surface!
Surface.
Service about.